In the world of seasonal anime, where it's quite literally physically impossible to keep up with everything that's airing, a lot of, well, isekai slop gets just aired and put out there. And usually, all the main characters are just the same beta cucks. And they got harems, meanwhile literally having the personality of 500 grit sandpaper, and not to mention, they all just look the same. However, there is an anime out there which has so much artillery in it that Bosnia would be proud. The MC actually looks slightly different to literally every other isekai MC out there, and the MC has a harem but is literally dedicated to only one girl.
What? This is a moment in history! Take a picture!
This anime is called Ifureta. So firstly, one of the major things that set this apart from literally every other isekai out there is that instead of the MC getting flattened by Truckton, his whole class gets summoned to this world. Oh yeah, and also the teacher gets summoned to this world, and in this world, they have to basically just play Dungeon Clearing Simulator 2547 and clear this massive fucking dungeon. And now, during one of these dungeon clearing expeditions, the main character called Hajime Nagumo gets knocked off a bridge by like an explosion or something, and then he ends up falling, well, kind of to his death. And it turns out actually that it wasn't one of the monsters that ended up killing him, it was actually one of his own teammates. Now this brings me to a famous quote from a very dedicated War Thunder player: "Friendlies are just enemies in blue." And then after waking up in the bottom of the dungeon essentially, Hajime tries his best to survive by drinking from puddles, eating monster meat, and then he gets himself the Tokyo Ghoul treatment by getting white hair.
the Tokyo Ghoul!
Also at some point he manages to create the ability to just make a fucking gun. Don't know how that happened, I haven't watched the anime in a little while. He then goes on to try and beat the rest of the dungeon, and then he beats the dungeon and then finds a lolly in a room. And then he talks to this lolly, and then he finds out that she was betrayed by her people, and he's like, "Betrayed? I know that feeling." And then they become best friends. Okay guys, quick intermission before we get on with the rest of the video. Just to let you know that all my socials are in the description, and also in the description you can click on the link to go to my Ko-Fi and support the channel by giving me your V-Bucks so I can buy Miku again in Fortnite. Anyways, thank you, and on with the video. When I was watching the show, like, one song really just like came to my mind and constantly just kept on repeating in my head whenever Hajime or just anybody was talking. It was Monster by Skillet. And because this show just gives us like the early 2000s, early 2010s like edginess vibe. Like at like any moment I thought there would be like a bunch of slideshow of Shadow the Hedgehog hard edit pictures coming on, like, because of how edgy the show just felt. I mean, just look at Hajime, man. He looks like the manager of a Hot Topic. And probably underneath all that clothing is like an Evanescence t-shirt. He's quite literally the embodiment of fanfiction.net, Wattpad.com, fucking webtoon art, edgy art, overpowered anime self-insert MC. It's fucking crazy. And his power is literally just the US military surplus. I mean, just look at half the shit he pulls out just randomly. He's got a fucking submarine, a Humvee. I'm pretty sure he has like a rocket launcher and like a sniper rifle at some point. And then also, he just has a fucking motorbike. Like that, if that Shadow the Hedgehog had a motorbike almost like that, there is a very good correlation between those two, other than Shadow the Hedgehog's a really good character, but like...
Hey there, Speedy. I just want to check, what browser do you use again?
Edge!
Alright, cheers, man.
Also, I find it funny how in season 1, Hajime trains a bunch of like very peace-loving, funny, scaredy cat like bunny people, and then turning them into basically full-fledged freedom fighters. Like, Hajime must have worked with the CIA in his previous life to train some freedom fighters in the middle of the Middle East. In an undisclosed location, I meant, sorry. Oh yeah, and in one of the episodes, he straight up just summons a fucking death ray to destroy the entirety of an enemy army. Like, Bosnia would look at this and be like, holy shit, we need this guy. And then, in another episode, Hajime straight up just double taps some guy right in front of the teacher. And keep in mind, the guy that he double taps was one of his former classmates. He's just down there, just bonk bonk motherfucker, and kills him. That does not sound like shooting someone. He even did it again, or before, with some demon lady guy. She's like, yeah, if you kill me, my husband's gonna kill you. He's like, I bet, and fucking shoots her. Is that the... No, I don't think I can make a joke about that on YouTube. And now, one of the many downfalls of the anime is its terrible fucking CGI. I mean, look at these fucking monsters. They look like they're from that like really shitty Kung Fu Panda ripoff. What is it? Like, Little Panda Fighter. They look like they come out from there. And then this dragon, right? It looks like that meme of the dragon saying jump into cack with the sunglasses on. And now, I watched the anime English dub. Yeah, go ahead, boo me, or whatever, I don't care. But it was too fucking funny, man. Like, half of the fucking lines sound like Hajime is reading off of, like, some super duper edgy script. These lines straight up sound like they could be My Chemical Romance or, like, 3 Days Grace lyrics. Like, that's how edgy some of these lines come off as. And finally, this anime is quite fun to watch. It's a very fun show to just watch and turn your brain off and enjoy just all the stupid action and stupid anime nonsense that comes along with watching anime. Wow, that was a really great review. And so, if you can't turn off your brain and enjoy a show like a certain Finnish anime YouTuber, then I'd say don't watch it. But for me, since I literally have no brain, I rate this anime an 8 out of 10. And if you really, really like isekai and you like watching and reading isekai, you should definitely check out this video here, which is about isekai, or you can watch this one, which is also about isekai. Anyways, thank you for watching, have a good day, and goodbye.